Okay, so first we start with the basics only. Like I don't take much time on the basics, which is called as the first we start with the OSM model, because OSM model is very important in the troubleshooting level, correct?
Yes, correct.
So then with the help of with OSM model, we are going with a tool called as a Wireshark. I guess Srikanth, you know about the Wireshark also, right?
Yeah, I do.
So we go with the OSM model and we'll try to capture the packets and we'll see how exactly we are going with this. What are things which we can learn with the Wireshark. And then once the OSM model is done, we go with IP addressing, which is very basic for you because already you know about these things. So where is I will take addressing and submitting both on the same day. And then we start with the actual course. So in this course, first we start with the routing. I'm not taking about what is a router, what is a switch. I don't start with those. I start with straight away configuration of router. So we go with the configuration of a router and what are the things which we need to configure on a router. So, and what are the different types of routers are there? So types of routers and how do you configure these type of routers? But mainly what we are focusing is, so in the companies we are using mainly ISR and ASR series. Sorry, ISR and ASR series. Then what's the difference between ISR router and ASR router? We'll discuss about it and how do you configure those routers. Okay. Which is a normal router, how exactly we need to configure. Then we are going with the routing. So what exactly we learn on the routing is different types of routings. One is a static routing and floating static. Static routing and floating static. And then we go with default routing. Means default routing is mainly used for internet. If we need to communicate to unknown destinations, we are using a default routing, right? We'll do a practical on this also. So default routing. I guess you know about this Shiva and Bhargav, but still. And then we go to dynamic routing. So in dynamic routing, we go more in depth. RIP is not there. We are not discussing about RIP because RIP is no longer available and no one around the world is using RIP. Yes, Shiva and Bhargav?
Yes, correct.
No, no.
So,
Yes, sir.
are you using it, Bhargav?
No, 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 no. Not
Okay.
using.
Okay. So we are going with straight away with EAGRP first. And EAGRP, I will take 3 days of class. But why we need to take 3 days of class? Because the topic is very simple, right? But we are doing more on labs. Because if we need to troubleshoot more, the first thing which we need to understand is what are the concepts which we will discuss on EAGRP. So which is single AS, configuration which you already know, and then multiple AS. So multiple AS means multiple autonomous systems. And how can you communicate between these, which is called as a redistribution. So redistribution between these protocols, which is EAGRP with the different AS numbers. And then we go with the stub. Stub is also one of the concepts which we are going with the EAGRP. And then we are going with one more concept which is called as equal cost load balancing and then unequal cost load balancing. Everything we'll do it practically only. Because you should know how exactly EAGRP works on the algorithm side. Okay. And we go with authentication. And then timers. So these are the things what we discuss on EAGRP with practical. For each and everything, we'll have a lab. Compulsory, we need to have lab for each and everything. And then we are going with, in the same topology, we are going with one more thing, which is called as a default routing with EAGRP. Means in my LAN, I'm using EAGRP. And on the internet, we use default routing. Then how can I send my EAGRP updates to internet? So which is called as a default routing with EAGRP, which is redistribution again. So this is the concept what we are going with that. And then we go to SIA. Again, is very important concept. Any idea SIA? Sorry, SIA. Anyone have you heard about this SIA? Stuck in Act 2.
No.
Stuck in Act 2. This is one of these things what they are asking on the interviews. If you put EHRP in your resume, I don't know whether they ask you or not, but this is one of the popular question on EHRP what they will ask. So these are things what we discuss on EHRP, which may take 3 days completely. The first day will be the theory, or second day also maybe the theory, and the third and fourth days minimum is 3 days. Minimum 3 days and maximum 4 days. We'll see that. Okay. And next, EHRP is a vast protocol, very big protocol. I will take minimum 6 days for this, because only the routing is important, and switching it is very easy on the companies, right? Because once you got the routing protocols, then we do the same thing on the switching also. So maximum I will take 6 days, but I can complete it in 5 days also. For this, we are going with areas. One second, let me close this. Areas, and then we are going with special areas, and then we are going with multiple areas, and again redistribution. And then default information originate. This is one of the protocol which we are using. And once the OSPF is done, again we do redistribution of EHRP to OSPF and OSPF to EHRP, because like in like you are using a different vendors. Like if I'm using a Cisco, I go with EHRP, and if I'm not using a non-Cisco vendor, then I'll go to OSPF, right? Then how can I be able to receive updates of EHRP to OSPF and OSPF to EHRP? All those things, everything we are doing practically. Then only you can understand and how do you troubleshoot. So for each and once we're done with the EHRP and OSPF, we go to the troubleshooting. So troubleshooting on OSPF. OSPF and EHRP. What are the troubleshooting steps which are having on OSPF and EHRP? Okay, is it clear? Then we are going with the best and the worst protocol, which is BGP, Border Gateway Protocol. So Border Gateway Protocol, again I will take 6 days, because BGP is like a ocean. 6 days is nothing for BGP. Yes or no? Am I right or wrong? Because BGP, sorry?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, BGP is like a ocean. So every day, every month, or every year, we are getting a new features on BGP. And no one around the world is perfect on BGP. Correct?
Yes.
Something or the other new things are added on BGP. If you ask me, I know only 60% of BGP. Still, I need to learn. I need to learn 40%. I cleared my CCIE also, but still, I need to learn many things on BGP. Like when I received a new document earlier last month, and I found new things on BGP, which is created newly on BGP. Then I think, okay, I need to learn more. Then I'm trying to do. So every vendor or every device is having a separate concept for BGP, because we don't have any algorithm on BGP. Correct? Then what they are doing is they are adding more concepts on BGP. Okay, we'll take 6 days, and everything theory and lab will be there on the 6 days. And then we are going with one more concept, which is called as MPLS, multi-protocol label switching. This is one of the WAN technology. This is one of the best technology what we are using nowadays in companies. If you are using SD-WAN, okay, this is one of the best topologies which we are using for SD-WAN. And then we are going with ACLs. I guess you know about the ACLs, but still I just brushed up the few things on ACLs. And then the most important concept is VPN, virtual private network. ACLC is something like blocking an access or allowing an access, right? Blocking an IP address. Like Srikanth, you also know about it. If suppose if any the people are trying to hack any network, then with the help of SI, a SIM device, we'll try to find that IP and we'll block it. Correct?
Yes, yes.
In the same way, in the routers also we are using some rules, which is called the policy. And in routers, we call it as ACLs, access control list. With the help of the access control list, from particular source to particular destination, we'll block the access or will allow the access. Depends on the requirement. So those things we discussed on ACLs, and then we are going with the VPN. And VPN is again a vast concept where we are going with IPsec GRE VPN, GRE VPN, and then IPsec VPN. In IPsec, we are doing two things, which is IKE V1 and IKE V2, version 2 and version 1. So nowadays, most of the Palo Altos or all the devices will support everything. But as per the company, what we are using is we are using only IKE V2. 99% of the companies are using only IKE V2. They are not using IKE V1. But in case if I am using very oldest device, then we are going with IKE V1. Or else we are going with only IKE V2. Okay? And then we start. Will after this concepts, we are having an exam. Means I want to conduct a practical exam on this, not the theory, because theory we don't require much practical exam. So where I will give you a scenario, a diagram, and I want you to configure it. Is it clear?
Okay.
Because I should know
Yeah.
how far you learned all these concepts, right?
Yes.
So then I'll keep an exam. Then we'll cover each and every concept on this. What are the concepts which we discuss? In each and every concept, you will have a lab with exam in the exam, and then we are going with the switching. And what are the things which will work on the switching is basic VLANs. And in this, we learned about data VLAN and voice VLAN. What is the data VLAN and what is the voice VLAN? And then we go with trunking, which is L2 trunking and L3 trunking. And then inter-VLAN routing. So in the inter-VLAN routing, we go with L2 again and L3. What are the concepts? Means everything. Means I want, if suppose if you got a job in a company with an experience of 6 years or 7 years or 8 years, you should be able to cope up with that job. Means what are technology which you are using in the company, each and every technology I will teach you. I'm not going with the CCNP concept or CCNA concept or CCI concept. I'm going with the concepts which are using in the companies. The things what I discussed till now, everything we are using in the companies. If you Shiva or Bhargav, the things what I'm discussing till now, everything we are using it or not? We are using static routing. Floating
Yes.
static means administration. That is the only one thing which we never use. But we use default routing will be there, EHRP, OSPF, BGP, MPLS, access list, VPN, everything we'll discuss. What are the things which are discussing, everything is there in the real time only. I don't want you to write the exam. Exam is very easy. Someone or the other will help you for the exam. But the thing is, you should be able to handle the job. Am I right or wrong? Now, Bhargav is on L1 engineer or L2 engineer. Once he is moved to L3, then he should be able to handle everything, right?
Yes.
He should be able to design the networks. All those things we need to go with that. And then we are going with redundancy protocols. Which are called as HSRP, VRRP, and GLBP. These are three protocols what we are discussing on this. And then the most important concept is STP. In the STP, we are going with PBSTP, RSTP, MSTP. All these concepts, what are things which are there on STP, we'll discuss everything. And STP is also infinite, same like a BGP. They are one or the other thing is there on new technologies on BGP on the STP. Okay. And then we are going with, I'm going with few concepts which are into the real time but not there in our course, which is called as ICE. Have you heard about ICE? Anyone? Anyone heard about ICE?
No. Yes.
Which is
It's
called as
security,
Identity Service Engine. We call this as Identity Service Engine. Means
security board.
earlier we used to use port security, but
Yes.
port security is replaced with ICE now, which is Cisco product. But I want to show you one more product which we are using in the companies instead of ICE, which is called as a Clear Pass, which belongs to Aruba. I just want to show you because we can't do this practical because we require a license. I'll show you my company environment, what exactly we are doing in that one. And then we are going with AAA, which is authentication, authorization, and accounting. And we are going with syslog, NTP, SNMP. These are the concepts, and port security as well, which is not required, but still we need to learn. And then VLAN ACLs. We never do this in the real time, but just for your understanding, in the worst case scenario, if you got a project where you need to do this, then we need to go with the VLAN ACLs. So these are the concepts what we are going with the routing and switching. Okay, but this is the basic switching. But we are going with one more concept which is called as Nexus. In the Nexus switches, what are things which you are learning, which is VLAN ACL, VACL, which is VXLAN, I can say VXLAN. And then how do you configure the Nexus switches? And then we go with ACI, application centric interface, which is SD-WAN, mainly used for SD access or SD-WAN. These are the things what we discuss on this. And then how do you configure the Nexus switches, which is 9K or 7K or 5K, lastly 2K. Sorry, 2K. So these are things what we learn on this. And once it is done, then we'll go to the firewalls, which is I'm going with Palo Alto and FortiGate or Fortinet. So this, let me show you the concepts what I'm teaching. Palo Alto. So this is the concepts what we are going with the Palo Alto. Basic introduction will be there. And then we are integrating the firewalls with the routers and switches, and we'll do the scenario so that you will understand how exactly the traffic is moving from LAN to the internet, correct? Like Bhargav has told me that he is doing a troubleshooting also. Then what are things which you do on the troubleshooting is path, how the packet is moving from LAN to WAN. Yes or no, Bhargav?
Yes, it's correct. Yes.
So then the same thing we do it here. So then what exactly we are doing is, I'm giving a scenario like this. It's not the same thing. I'll give a scenario like this and I want you to configure it. Where you are using these are the firewalls, internet, DMZ switches, routers, and the switches and the PCs. So whenever I'm sending any packet from a PC, how the packet will go to the internet? Whether it will take the path number 1 or path number 2 or which device. And for each and every device, we are having a redundancy. For example, if you take your broadband connection in your home, in case the broadband is down, then what exactly we do? We move to hotspot. Or if you take in your home, you are using inverter. In case the power is down, automatically some of the lights or things will go to the UPS, correct? Which is inverter. In the same way, in the companies also, for ISP, we need to have a redundancy, as well as for device to device also, I have a redundancy. I need to have a redundancy. For example, if Srikanth, if you take, if you are having one SIM device or two SIM devices.
Two SIM device. Sorry.
You are using two. Because one SIM device is down, the traffic has to be taken care by the secondary, correct? In case the primary device is down, all the traffic has to be taken care by the secondary. So we configure everything. What are the concepts which we learn from day one? Everything will be implemented on this diagram.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But what we are doing is we are not adding all the 4 firewalls at a time. So first we try to go with Palo Alto and then we remove this and we put FortiGate. Is it clear? So that you can understand. And the same setup we'll build on the other side also. I'm taking two setups like this. Let us say one setup is in Mumbai and the other one is in Bangalore. Now I need to have a communication between these two branches from LAN to LAN or through all these devices. Then how can you communicate? Whether I need to go with a GRE VPN or IPsec VPN, what kind of VPN I need to use? That you need to configure it. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, yes.
So all these other things what we discuss on this, and this is the curriculum what we are going with the Palo Alto. So introduction, and I'm 70% I'm going with the command line on Palo Alto because graphical is very easy. You can find it on YouTube also. But what is the difference between other institutes or with AIM Next? I'm teaching you everything with the command line and graphical both. So 70% I will teach it on command line and 30% I will teach you on the graphical, because graphical you can navigate easily. Because if you want to do the troubleshooting, command line is very important, right? Yes or no?
Yes, CLA is important.
Yeah. So how do you troubleshoot via command line? How do you configure the things, interfaces, routing protocols? Everything will show you on the command line. Okay. And in the VPN, once we're done with the Palo Alto also, we configure VPN between router to Cisco router to Palo Alto to Palo Alto, and Fortinet to Palo Alto, two Palo Altos, two Fortinets. Then you can get, and then you will be able to understand all the things, right? If you are doing the VPN between two different vendors, then you can easily do it in your company also, because I'm using Palo Alto, the customer is using some FortiGate or ASA. Then you should be able to understand what are things which they will configure on their side and what are things which I need to configure on my side. Am I right or wrong? You should be ready for the worst for each and everything, correct?
Yes.
So because of that, we are doing between router to firewall, which is a Palo Alto, and a router to Fortinet, and Fortinet to Palo Alto to Palo Alto, Fortinet to Fortinet. Then how exactly, what is the difference between all these devices and how can you configure all those things? We'll see. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then the most important thing is panorama. Like every company is using a Palo Alto. Like I'm working on a ABC company. So my company is having multiple branches around the world. Now, I want to configure a rule. And that rule should be implemented on all my Palo Alto firewalls, which are there in different locations. Is it possible? Manually configuring of each and every rule on each and every firewall is not possible. Further, we
Yes.
are having a feature which is called as a panorama. The one which we are using. Like I can say 70% of the companies are using panorama. And in the new technology, we got SCM, Strata Cloud Manager. Have you heard about this? Anyone? SCM, Strata Cloud Manager.
No.
Or have you heard about Panorama, Bhargava or Shiva?
Yeah, we are using daily basis.
Yeah. So instead of Panorama, we got SCM. You can search in the Google also. SCM, Strata Cloud Manager, is the updated one. Same like a Panorama, but it is more graphical. No command line in this. And then we are going with the introduction to the. This is only theory concept. I can't take the practical for Prisma. Prisma is mainly used for your website filtering. We need to buy a license for this. It costs around, earlier when I try to buy for my company, it costs around $600. And now if it is in the market now, maybe 650 or 700 also will be there. So I can't show you that practically, but I can show you what we are doing in our company, which is mainly used for website filtering or URL category filtering. And then the tools what we are using here, which is a NetFlow, SNMP, syslog, and how do you capture the packets, how do you monitor the traffic from inside to outside, from where to where the packets are going, everything we'll discuss here. And then code upgradation is very easy and very complex also. Sometimes it's very easy to upgrade. Sometimes it may have some issues also. Then what are the things which we need to do? And then backup and restore. Whenever you are doing any upgrade, the most important thing is backup. If you don't take a backup and if my device gone faulty, then do I have any backup? I don't have any backup to restore the configuration, right? So compulsory we need to take backups for each and every device. Then how can we take that? All those things we'll see. The same things we'll discuss on, which is on the Fortinet also, but there we call it as a domes, VDomes. Okay, so these are the concepts for CCNP course. Okay, this is the CCNP course what we are going with, which is in the A level 2 program. So architecture, designing of the network, and I'm adding one more thing which is very important, which is wireless and QoS, quality of service. And then I will add one more program which is for 2 days, but that 2 days will be taken care by the other guy. So his name is Madhu. He will take care of Python, because Python is also very important, right? One concept I will take care of Python, and the other concept, he is more senior than me on the Python. But we got one more guy in our class. I forgot his name, Shiva. Shiva also can help us on the Python. Yes, Shiva?
Okay, sure.
Okay, how exactly we need to upgrade? How exactly we need to do multiple upgrades at the same time? How we need to do the automation? Everything we'll do it in this. Okay, and then lastly, we are introduction to the designing. Means if you got a new requirement and how can you design the network? All those things we'll discuss. Okay.
Satya, like one doubt.
Yes.
Like how many days will these networking concepts will be goes on, and how many days for firewall it will take? Like roughly, can you say?
See, it depends on you purely. It purely depends on you how you are doing it. If suppose if you are
Okay.
doing very faster, and I'll take maximum 2 months only for which is for the firewalls. Sorry, the routing and switching.
Okay.
Okay, it depends on the holidays also.
Okay. Not like that. I want to know like how much content it will be there. But if, for example, if we take for 2 months for networking purpose, then it will take 1 month for firewalls, right?
Exactly, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Means you can take hardly 3.5 months. 3.5 to 4.5
Okay.
months. Sorry, 4 months. But why? Because sometimes we get stuck up with some topic. If you ask me more questions, then I need to go more in depth, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you take OSPF or BGP or MPLS, you ask me a question, then I'll take that point and I need to go more in depth. Then we'll do some more in depth things also, correct? Because I don't want to skip anything. Firstly, if I skip, that's problem with me, and everyone will think I'm not teaching properly. But that's not the thing. If you ask me a question, I should be able to answer it, and you should do all the labs as well with me. Okay.
Okay. And one more question, like I want regarding labs, like on which labs we are doing this all practice?
Like
Is
we are having
GNS
physical
3?
labs physical lab is available. So
Okay.
like you can do it at your home, and you can come to institute and you can do here also. Anything is fine. Like
Okay.
if it
Okay. That
is
means
if it is a laptop which you want to do in your home, I suggest to go with 16 GB minimum RAM should be the
okay.
best. 16 GB or 32 GB is more than enough if you are having it. But 16 GB is ideal, the best thing.
Okay. Basically, I'll use GNS 3 as interface, but it is useful, right? Same you're
Yeah. I'm
teaching
also
it.
using the same thing. I'm also using the GNS3. I'll share you the images what are required. But some labs you can't do it on GNS3. That we need to do it on physical device only. Because some of the iOS are there which is having 500 MB or 600 MB. And if you are running on the laptop, your laptop will be gone.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one of the thing. Yeah.
Thanks. That's it.
Yeah. Anything from Bhargav? Any questions?
No, as of now, it's clear.
Okay.
I'm thinking about laptop. I have laptop, but it is too old one. I have to purchase new.
No, if it is a laptop, you don't worry. We are having labs here. I'm planning to
Okay.
provide remotely also. We'll see how
Okay.
it goes. So where do you stay, Bhargav?
Nearby institute only, in road number 2 KBHP.
Okay, good. And how about Srikanth? Habibspet, right, Srikanth?
Yeah, near to office building.
Okay. Then how much RAM you are, as you are using, you are working on the cybersecurity, you should have good RAM also in your laptop, correct?
Actually, I'm using my company's asset. I do
I'm
have
also using
another.
companies. You are seeing in between,
Yeah,
you are seeing a chart, right?
yeah. Already in a meeting.
Yeah, I'm also using companies asset. Yeah.
No
But we are
issue.
having servers
I have
also,
another one.
like we are having servers are also available here. Like EXI host and everything is there. We can build a lab over there and you can share you with the internet. So you can access them remotely also. Okay. Don't worry
That is
about it.
good.
And we are having physically firewalls. Fortinet firewall is physically available. And then ASF firewall is if you are interested to do by your own. We are having checkpoint firewall. We are having ASA firewalls, firepower, and we are having Palo Alto firewall and Fortinet firewall. Everything is physically available. You can do it.
What about class timings actually?
Like, what is the feasible time for you, everyone?
For me, morning.
Yeah, because what we are thinking is we are planning to keep it morning 8 o'clock. Is that fine for everyone?
Yeah, it's fine. My shift
Okay.
is 6 to 3, actually.
Okay, morning 6 to 3.
No. Evening.
Okay, you are working for CST.
Yes.
Okay. Then how
It's an
about the
MSP.
other? Sorry?
I'm working for MSP, so it's mostly you can use timings.
Oh, okay.
So
And how about Shiva and Bhargav?
Oh, sorry. I left this one. Like what question you're asking?
No, I'm asking about timing.
Morning itself. Before 10 a.m. it would be good actually for me.
Okay, so no, we are planning at 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 a.m. is fine. Completely fine.
And Bhargav? Okay. So good. So less members and more knowledge. Like if we are having less number of people, we will do more things, right? Because if it is a group of 10 or 15 members or 20 members in a group, what exactly happens is we can't learn much because one or the other guy will ask some unwanted things in the class and we can't be able to do it. But everyone is working now. So we'll get more knowledge and it is a knowledge sharing card. Yes or no? Then what are the issues which you are getting in your company? If you update to me, I can explain you in the class what are the things which you are doing and what needs to be troubleshooted and how exactly we are doing it. And what are the issues which I'm facing in my company and how we troubleshooted those issues. So we'll discuss each and everything in the class so that if in case if you got the same issue in your company, you can be able to do it easily, right? Yes or no? Hello?
yes.
Yeah. Okay then. Thanks for your time, everyone. Srikanth, Shiva, and Bhargav.
Yeah.
So we'll meet you from 18th, right?
Okay.
Yeah, from 18th morning 8 o'clock. Yeah, so they'll update you tomorrow. So the timing and they'll create a WhatsApp group and everything. So we'll meet on Monday.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then see you guys.
Thank you much.
Happy Independence Day in advance.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.